In the Hoenn region, no one wants to be the best, like no one ever was. Most folks want to work hard and make an honest living. The people and the Pokemon of this land are hard. I'm not just talking about the rock types. No, sir. People and Pokemon here work for their keep, working in tandem to tame a small spot of this brutal land. While some folks turn to their work, take from the land, others turn to each other and take from them. By fear or violence, these bandits and their Pokemon, they take from the honest and give to themselves. Some take honor to avenge those fallen. Some take glory, trying to scream at an otherwise empty, uncaring desert that they meant something. Others just take for gold. This isn't the story of the very best. No, sir. This might be the tale of the downright worst this region has ever seen. Welcome to A Fistful of Pokeballs, a Western-inspired Pokemon D&D role-playing podcast. Join us as we become the very best at being the very worst.
Hey guys, my name is Lucas, and I play Jedediah Moonstone, a young man who grew up as a farmhand until the bank came and took his family's farm away, which led him down a path toward poverty and crime and being a bandito.
Hey, it's JFK here, playing Triga Fattoria, young, naive bandito wannabe who read Don Quixote and is taking role-playing a little too seriously.
Howdy, I'm Ryan. I play Frederick the Phantom Mayor, Hoenn Civil War veteran and all-around badass bandito.
And I'm Jack. I'm the one telling the story. So, we last left off with Penelope Strong kind of under duress over a break-in that led to multiple Mareeps going missing. She was obviously very panicked. Jedediah was able to convince everyone it would be a great idea to help out the common folk of this country because, obviously, they have done nothing wrong. They are just trying to make a living. With that being said, we were given, Trigo was given a shotgun, and Frederick was able to point us in the right direction of where we are going and what it looks like we're going. So I guess the best way to cut would be you guys already kind of started down the trail, just at the beginning of it, and you guys are walking through the woods almost on the hunt.
Point of order, Frederick would be asleep.
That is correct. Frederick is just taking a snooze. So, Jedi and Trigo, you guys are going to be on the trail. Frederick, you are going to take a hayseed and put it in your mouth and take a nap. Alright, so you two are walking down the path. What are you guys doing?
I look at Jedediah and I'm like, what the fuck is up with him? I thought he'd be willing to help, but I guess not. It looks like it's just me and you.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a helper type, but figured he might come, at the prospect of a fight.
Yeah, I would have thought he was taking some gold, but whatever. Let's just go get this Mightyena.
So you start walking down the path, and you are realizing that it is getting more woodsy the further you go in. Both of you roll a nature check for me, just to see if you guys can follow this path to the best of your ability.
I got a 5.
What modifier is nature?
That falls under wisdom.
I think I All this for me rolling a 6.
Oh boy. So, you guys look behind you, and you realize that you've trekked a little too far, and you have no freaking clue where you went. You thought you did, and now you're completely kind of like trapped in the woods almost. You are looking around kind of frantically because you can't see the kind of horizon anymore that has the farm on it, and you can't see anything in front of you other than a steep cliffside. What would you guys like to do?
Hey, Trigo, you think your Abra could get us back where we knew where we were?
I can definitely try, but I know teleporting people like this isn't her strong suit, but we can give it a shot.
Okay, so I think we talked about this. Abra's rolls depends on how accurately it actually picks you up and moves you. So what I want you to do is did we go off of intelligence? I think intelligence will work, right?
I think it was.
So let's go off of intelligence first, real quick, because I'm assuming has Abra been in its Pokeball, or is it just like has been following you?
I think in her Pokeball.
Okay, so Abra does need to roll kind of like give Abra a perception check for me. Have Abra roll perception, which should fall under Wisdom 2, I believe.
13.
Okay, so now roll me. So now I guess you guys can use teleport. Abra. So this is just to give Abra a sense of where it's going. Roll me intelligence for the actual teleport.
14.
Okay, you guys pop back. You're still in the woods, but you can at least see Penelope Strong's farm on the horizon. So you guys are close enough to actually be in safe distance. What would you like to go off of there?
I guess I'll do a perception check to, look at the trail again to make sure I'm going in the right place, or that I can see a trail.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oof, that's a 10. That's very average.
That is very average. So you see the original path that the blood left by the fence. However, you can't really get as far as you can anymore, but at least you know where you are. Actually, shoot. Jedi, I was supposed to give you advantage because of your background of living in the frontier. That's my bad. So if you want to roll another nature perspective or nature check, you can. Because I just realized I was reading through your backstory and I was like, yeah, having that would give you kind of a good tracking sense.
Alright, that's fair. To flavor this, I'm going to say that I let Teddy out of his Pokeball and ask him if he can help us try and track down the Mareep whose blood we see.
Absolutely. All right, give me a roll.
That is a 16 plus 1.
Okay, so with the 16, you see kind of a pretty faint, but it's still a trail that has been led by it. You see like little glistening red drops of blood showing up on some of the leaves that have kind of been wilted in a different various areas, and you know the path that you need to take.
That away it is. Thanks, Teddy.
All right, so while you guys are walking, we're going to go back to Penelope and Frederick. And she's going to look at Frederick kind of just lay on her property, grass-seeded mouth, and just be like, some people, work to stay here instead of just picking up and going where they want.
This is Ryan asking. She was robbed, right? She had been robbed, and the hound, who stole her sheep again?
It's just a random Mightyena. It is
a
not
random Mightyena. So
yes.
It's not scheduled violence. Ooh,
no, this is animal eat animal.
Okay, so this is animal eat animal. But has she been robbed by another human being yet?
I mean, she's lived on the frontier. She's lived a pretty rough life, but I mean, I would say she's been in the past, but not in this area.
Okay, not in this area. Okay, and the Union, the Aquarius Union, is still looking for us, correct?
So you rested, so you are... Roll perception.
That would be plus my wisdom, right?
Yes.
Oh, that is a 5.
To you, they are still chasing you. You are still a wanted man.
Okay, then I would act as Frederick would normally act. I think I turn to Penelope, and I say, do you have anything... I guess I would sit up. Frederick sits up in the cart, and he looks at her. What distance is she from me?
She's about 5 feet from you. Kind of looking down at you while you're resting.
She armed?
She's not armed. She had a shotgun. She gave it to Trigo.
I think this is going to be like the It's Always Sunny because of the implication. I think he unhooks his gun from his belt and he puts it into the cart and he stands up and he says, just so we're on the level, he says, what, do many folk come by here at all?
Roll intimidation.
That is a 10.
She takes a step closer to you and says, I'll level you if this is how you're going to keep chatting with me.
Well, I took off my gun to come through an air of, being nice, but I think he says, where's your property line?
She points at the fence with the blood on it and just points to that.
So that's where the fence is?
The fence is her property line.
I think he gets up defiantly and stands on the exact opposite side of the fence and just stares from the other side. Like he's not on her property, but he's just standing on the other side of the property.
She's going to roll her eyes. Yes. Okay. She's going to roll her eyes and just go back to doing household stuff.
Did she have a weather vane?
A what?
A weather vane. Like the thing that spins and does the, like, would tell you the direction that the wind spins.
It is on the silo above her house.
Can I shoot the weather vane?
Give me an attack roll.
There's another 10. Poopy dice. Gonna switch up.
You're gonna fire a shot and whiff it entirely. She's gonna turn around and be like, the Mightyena went that way.
I continue to stand and I bide my time.
She's just gonna walk away. Alright, so back to Jedi and Trigo. You guys are going to make it to a clearing in the woods, and you guys are going to look at it, and you're going to see that there's kind of, think of it like a half circle almost. It's about a radius of 30 feet. At the flat end is a large kind of stone, not really a mountain, but just kind of like a large crag of rocks. And you see a large Mightyena resting on one of the rocks outside of kind of like the crag that you see. Roll me, because you guys are approaching still, correct?
Yes.
Each of you roll me a dexterity check.
Unnatural 1.
I rolled a 7, but what's my modifier? That's a 10.
Jedediah, you step on a twig. Trigo, you step on a root and just straight up eat it.
Oof.
The Mightyena gets up and howls. And at first, nothing really happens. But start rolling initiative because you guys are up.
Initiative is Dex mod, right?
I believe it's tied to that, yes.
Okay.
Well, I got an 18.
Hot dice.
Got a 12.
Okay, and the Mightyena is going to roll. Okay, so it is going to go Trigo, Jedediah, and then the Mightyena. Trigo, you fell, but I'm going to assume that by the time it howled, you got up, so you're not knocked prone or anything. You have your turn. What do you do?
Can I do a perception check to see if I can see like any loose, like some bigger loose rocks?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll it.
8.
8. There are some pebbles near you, but there's no kind of loose rocks that you see. I'm assuming you're trying to Wile E. Coyote drop a boulder on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna do because psychic does not affect dark.
That is correct. Is Abra still out there?
Abra is like pretty much on my right hip.
Gotcha. Okay.
So she's not out there, but I guess I would like to aim the shotgun at it.
Okay, do you want to just have it trained on, or do you want to actually fire it?
I think because I'm not very, I guess you can say, proficient with shotguns, or just really guns in general. Yeah, I own some, but don't really use them that much. They're more for show. Mm-hmm. I think I don't really have much discipline, so I will shoot at it.
Okay, roll me an attack roll with disadvantage.
11. 6.
Okay, so you blast a shot, and you just hear like a loud kind of ping against the boulder that is near it, but nothing really happens. It kind of just whiffs over. And the Mightyena immediately just turns and locks eyes straight with you. And that is going to bring us to Jedediah. Your move.
Okay. Well,
Teddy should still be out, because he was partly, leading the way for us.
Yep.
So I will motion to Teddy and tell it to use his move, Fake Tears.
Okay, refresh me on what that does.
The description here, you fake a creature out with superficial tears, lowering their defenses. When activating this move, a target must make a wisdom saving throw against your move DC. On a failure, all attack rolls against the target are given a +5 bonus till the end of your next turn.
Okay, so I have to roll for the Mightyena.
Yeah, against what it says my move DC is. Which, if we're going to assume that's basically the same as a spell save DC.
Off of Wisdom and Charisma. I'm looking at it now.
Okay, then it should just be 10 plus whichever move power thing I'm using, right?
Yes. Okay. So your Teddy Ursa kind of rubs its eyes, and Mightyena just kind of locks eyes with it, and it hesitates for a bit. It kind of looks and kind of cocks its head. It doesn't really know what's happening. So it is a little weak. But now it's the Mightyena's turn, and it is going to let loose a very, very loud howl. And all of a sudden, inside of the crag, you hear skittering. We'll go back to that. That's going to be the Mightyena's turn. It's just going to be let loose another howl, and you're going to hear skittering. Frederick, you hear the shotgun go off, and you hear a flock of birds start to kind of fly away from the distance. And you hear Penelope says, sounds like they found that fucker that's taking my shit. What is your reaction to this?
I think at this point, once he heard the shot, Frederick is leaning on the fence facing the other direction, so he's looking at the woods, kind of hemming and hawing, I don't really feel like it, just kind of kicking dirt for a little bit. Is it Penelope's watching me?
She's doing chores, but she's just looking oh, is he still there? Oh yeah, he is. Okay, whatever. And then just going back to her chores.
I think I'm going to make it canonical that I just don't put Cyndaquil in his Pokeball, full on Pikachu style. He's just always out. I think I get on my knee and I look at Cyndaquil and I go, all right, buddy, what do you want to do?
Cyndaquil just stares at you and then just kind of turns its head and then just looks back in the woods and then looks back at you and then looks back in the woods and looks back at you and then looks back in the woods. Kind of gives a little flare up.
All right, let's go get some exercise. And I think, as to a T, the definition of the word mosey, he begins to mosey into the woods. No rush, no sense of urgency. Him and Cyndaquil just mosey off through the field into the woods.
Okay, so I'm going to say that's going to take... So I'm going to say that by the time you're going to get there, you might not be in time since they're in combat, and that's 6 seconds per round. So we're going to go back up to...
Well, I guess I guess...
I'm just telling you, at the pace that they're going, by the time you show up, they will already be probably either on their way home, dead, or the GTA mission failed screen shows up.
I'm trying to see if Cyndaquil can move faster than I can, which I don't think it can with its stubby little legs. I think I pick Cyndaquil up then, and I run.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you're sprinting. It's going to take a turn to get there, or a turn and a half. So yeah, a movement. Okay. So back at the top of the lineup, we have Trigo. So you fired a shot of the shotgun. It is going to have 4 more shots in it.
I'm going to fire again.
Okay. Give me a roll this time, since I'm assuming you would have probably gotten more of a beat on it. You don't have disadvantage.
15.
15? That will actually hit. Okay, so roll me a d10 for damage.
5, and there's no modifiers to that, right? Just straight 5?
In my head, it was just a heavy crossbow. Are there modifiers to heavy crossbow?
It depends on your dexterity, but we can just say it's a d10.
Yeah. I'll just say d10. So 5? Okay. So the Mightyena kind of once it shot, you see a puff of smoke out of the barrel, and it turns its head and looks and starts snarling. Jedediah, you are up.
All right. I will tell Teddy, go, use Covet now that it's wounded and distracted. Which that should be with my Dex mod, which is 0. I rolled an 8, but the Mightyena, you said it failed for the fake tears.
It does, which gives you a +5, correct?
Yeah, so that bumps me to 13 then.
Unfortunately, it is still not going to cut it. Mightyena is going to kind of Teddy Ursa's going to get really close to it and then try very quickly to just kind of like give a swipe at it. But the Mightyena is going to kind of like come out of like this is a threat. Like originally it was just like, oh, it's just a cute little animal. But then as soon as it gets closer, it's like, whoa, this is a threat. And it's going to kind of lunge backwards since it missed. Now, the Mightyena is up again. It is going to make a bite roll against Teddy Ursa since that is the closest thing to it. Okay, so yeah, that's going to hit. Okay, so Teddy Ursa, so the Mightyena is going to kind of fake to the left, fake to the right, and it's going to jump and lunge and take a real big chomp out of Teddy Ursa's right arm. And it is going to deal 4 damage.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay.
Hey, Teddy.
Yes, Teddy Ursa kind of like lets out a cry, and the Mightyena's turn is done. However, the reason why the Mightyena was howling, you now see 3 small Poochyenas rush out of the cave. However, roll me, actually I'll even need a perception check. In each of the mouths of the Poochyenas is 1 Mareep. They're alive, from what you could tell, but they are being kind of hauled away. How I'm going to do this, how I'm going to kind of just run this, basically. Each of the pups are going to drag it 15 feet each turn. I'm going to roll a death save for each Mareep, basically. If it fails 3 death saves, it dies, and the Poochyyena runs away with it successfully. If you hit the Poochyyena, I will roll a Constitution check to basically break it out of that. If it fails the Constitution, it'll drop the Mareep and it'll just book it. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll 3 death saves for Mareep 1, Mareep 2, and Mareep 3. Okay. So 1 fails, 2 pass. So 1 Mareep is kind of being dragged away. The other Mareeps are still struggling. That is going to bring it up to Trigo, and then it'll go Trigo, Jedediah, Mightyena, and then Frederick will eventually make it to join the fray.
Alright, dumb question, but can I use Abra's teleport to teleport a Mareep away from one of the Poochyenas?
You may. Yes, you can.
Alright, so I guess that's what I'll try to do.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Abra teleports himself, correct? He can't just look at something, like he can't look at a spoon and teleport the spoon to another part of the room.
I think as long as... I think if I could touch it, yes, but if it's more than, maybe a little over melee distance, then no.
So how it will work is Abra will have to move to the Poochyyena, touch it, and teleport. If it fails, the Poochyyena might be able to attack it. If it succeeds, it will safely teleport it away.
Alright, then I guess I'll make a roll on that. And what would you say, that's wisdom or intelligence?
It is, we did teleport off of intelligence. So you're going to move its distance, which is fine because the Mareeps are alive and kind of struggling still. And then it's going to make an intelligence roll to kind of either teleport it on a successful roll, or it will just whiff on a fail.
Alright, let's see. 19.
19, okay. So which, I'm guessing you're going to target the Mareep that had the fail?
Oh, whichever one's closest.
I'd say they're both equal distance, so we'll do the Mareep with the fail. So you're going to run to that 1 Mareep, and basically, Abra is going to kind of just, glide over to it, like it's not even touching the ground at this point, it's kind of levitating, puts its arm out, drags it against the dirt, and you see, this little cloud of dust roll up. Going to grab the Mareep by the little leg, and just click its fingers, and boop, right back to your side with the Mareep in hand.
Perfect.
Okay. That Poochyyena that was holding it is just going to kind of book it. It knows it doesn't want to fight you. It wants to let its mom fight, and it's just going to run away as fast as it can. That brings us back to Jedediah for his turn.
Okay, that Poochyyena was the one that
succeeded in dragging the Mareep a little ways?
Yes. So the other two Mareeps both succeeded in their death saves. The one that failed was successfully teleported back. So it is unconscious still a little bit, but it is still like alive to your knowledge. It'll be fine.
Okay, cool. I will tell Teddy Ursa, hey, that's the Mareep we're looking for. Go save him. And just tell him to sort of target one of those two Mightyena and hit it with a covet attack.
So actually, covet actually works because I'm looking at on a successful attack, you steal a creature's held item. In this instance, is the Mareep the held item?
That's what I was imagining. I was going to say I should get advantage on stealing.
Sticky paws here, baby. All right, give me a roll. Give me a roll. Sticky paws.
Sticky paws, Teddy. Let's go. That is only an 8 for the attack.
8. So unfortunately, the Mightyena is a little bit more agile. Teos is going to kind of run with that sticky paw, and right before he can kind of get the swipe, it's going to kind of like, you know how dogs with chew toys, this is graphic, I'm sorry. You know how dogs with chew toys, like they just shake their head with it and then like kind of like flap it around? Yeah, that's what it's going to do. So when it goes to grab it, it kind of does that like shaking thing and it just whips the tail away from it. So it can't get a grasp on it, unfortunately. And that's going to bring us back to the Mightyena. The Mightyena, after getting shot, is going to lock eyes with Trigo and make a lunge for it. And it is going to try to attempt a sand attack. It is going to try to neutralize you as a threat and then try to help its children. It needs to kick up cloud dust. The target must make a constitution save against your move DC. So, do me a favor. Roll me a constitution saving throw, Trigo.
Alright. 13.
13. You succeed there. So, because its constitution is 12, yeah. So you roll higher than it. So the Mightyena is going to leap in front of you. It's going to turn around and try to kick the dust up right in your face, and it just completely whiffs. You are able to kind of like duck out of the way, roll out of the way. And Frederick, panted, is going to finally make his way into this fight. And he's going to see the Mightyena with its back turned to Trigo after Trigo dodged it, and a one Mareep sitting by Abra.
When I enter, am I closer to the Mightyena or am I closer to the Mareeps?
You are closer to the Mightyena.
Okay, then I'm going to do... How close am I to the Mightyena?
I'm going to say you are within 10 feet of him. And the Mightyena are about, I'm going to say 30 feet away from you. So if you want to use your movement, well, actually, you can because you use your... I'm saying you use your movement to get here in a sprint, basically. I'm going to give you
right.
But they are within 30 feet of you guys.
And Cynical can move.
Yes. Because he's on your shoulder.
I think if I can't move, I'm going to do two things. Well, I can't do two things because of
if you tell me, you might be able to. If you tell me,
I want to shoot the Mightyena and I want to have Cynical tackle it immediately after.
So here's what I'll say you can do. You can throw Cyndaquil.
That's what I was going to do originally if I was too far away.
As a bonus action, but Cynical will not be able to tackle. And then you can fire your weapon with disadvantage. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're basically just chucking it, and I'm assuming you have your gun in your hand because you were firing it at the ranch for funsies.
Right.
So I'm assuming you have your gun in hand, so you don't need to bother holstering. Yeah,
I think my game plan here is to get the Mightyena's attention on me. So I'll just shoot my gun at... If I shoot the gun at the Mightyena, is that a bonus action? Instead of... Like, I'm not aiming for it, I just want to get its attention.
Oh, that'll be a bonus action, then Cynical throwing can be the tackle.
Yeah. So I'll shoot my gun in the air to get its attention first.
Roll me... Hold up, because I would actually like, since you're trying to do that, roll me a... Would that be intimidation, or would that be some kind...
I guess it'd be intimidation.
Yeah.
My charisma is 0, so it doesn't matter anyway. That is a 9.
You're going to fire your gun, but it is still very upset the fact that it ate a shell to the face from Trigo. So it is still kind of snarling. It like glances, but it immediately just recalibrates to Trigo.
Alright, then I'm going to throw Cynical into a tackle. and get him to get the Mightyena's attention that way.
All right. Roll me an attack roll.
That is a 7. Poopy Garbo dice. God
Yeah.
damn.
You're going to throw Cynical, but you're going to overthrow him a little bit. So Cynical is going to be like 5 feet away or 10 feet away from the Mightyena, actually. He's going to be like a little bit farther off. That brings us back to the Poochyena. So I only need to roll 2. 1 passes. Another one critical failures. So one of the Mareeps is at 2 death fails. One of them is at 2 saves, but that is going to bring us back to Trigo.
So I think if possible, I'm going to try to do the same thing I did last turn, but definitely go towards the one that crit failed if it's close enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I got a 3.
So Abra is going to get really close, and it is going to... Abra's going to have like input delay on this one. Like it's going to rush up to the Mareep, teleport back to you, and then try to like grab. Like it almost like, you know what I mean? Like it almost like lagged a little bit. Like he like tried to do, he did one action before he actually did it.
Pretty much
Abra
sense? Had packet loss is what you're telling me.
Yes, exactly. That's the word I'm looking for. So it failed to save that Mareep, and it's still back at you though. Jedi, you're up.
Daddy, let's try again. Go for that Mareep that's hurting.
Show me them sticky fingers.
Come on, Sticky Finger Teddy. That's an 18.
That's gonna hit, baby. Okay, so not only are you gonna do damage, but you're gonna steal the Mareep away from it. Give me an attack roll on Covet.
Alright, and the damage is on a D10. What's the 0? Is that nat 10?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure 1 and then 0 is 10. So you're gonna full.
Okay. That's max damage on this Poochyena.
This Poochyena is bloodied. this Poochyena is bloodied. It's limping away from you, and it kind of like wanted to put up a fight against the Teddy Ursa, but after getting walloped, it just kind of looks up and is like, "Oh no, and then walks away. It's almost like the nature documentaries where they realize that the mother or the hyena can't compete with the lion, so he just kind of walks away smiling, like, whatever, I meant to do this.
I like to imagine I just look at Abra, I'm like, why couldn't you fucking do that?
And that's the one, and I'm assuming that was the one I should have asked you to say, but I'm assuming that was the one that double failed.
I tried to say go for the one that's really hurting.
Okay. So, we are going to go back to the Mightyena. So the Mightyena, after seeing its child get hit, is going to turn its gaze at Teddy Ursa again, and it is going to rush up to it and give me a lot of options here. I like this. It is going to go for another bite, though. So let me get a roll here. Would a 6 hit?
No, it would not.
So Mightyena is going to rush at Teddy Ursa. It is going to chomp and miss, but it's going to use its, not really bonus action, but it's kind of going to just brace itself in front of the injured Poochyena and just kind of guard it. So it's very much on guard. It is very aggravated. And that's going to bring us to Frederick. The Mightyena that was kind of like right in front of you is now about 20 feet away from you and Cyndaquil together.
I think I do, well, I don't throw him again, but I think I tell Cyndaquil, I give Cyndaquil like a nod, and I shoot the gun in the air again, and I tell him to go for another tackle.
Roll me intimidation again.
Alright, come on, baby. Something better. That is a 12.
I'm going to make it roll against you for that. Okay. So, you fire your gun in the air. The Mightyena looks over to you yet again, and it locks eyes with you. It is so tired of the loud rock that you're holding in its hand, and it strikes a pose right at Cyndaquil. He rolled a 13. Cyndaquil can do an attack roll at disadvantage.
Okay, at disadvantage. All right.
Yes.
So he's going to go for a tackle. Ooh, that is a 2. Well, a 3.
Is that
the second, third? No, it does not. Cyndaquil is going to rush up, try to like drop its shoulder, and the Mightyena is just going to kind of jump up and dodge over it. And that is going to bring us to the Poochyena again. Poochyena is going to roll. It's going to roll another. Okay, so it passed its saving rolls. So the Merit is still alive and it is currently stabilized. However, now the Mightyena, so since it's alive, it's fine, but it's considered stabilized and unconscious. It is going to start running with it, basically. So every turn that you do not save this Merit is going to run 15 feet, which I'm going to say is its speed. Its real speed is a 30 walking, but since it has something, since it has something that's double or its exact weight in its mouth, it's not able to run, obviously. It's going to be a little encumbered. So I'm going to say it's 15 feet away, and every round it's going to be able to move 15 feet again. So it will start that next turn. That brings us back to Trigo.
Alright, I figured since it is not running away yet, I see that the Mightyena turned its focus towards Cyndaquil. I think this would be a great opportunity to take the shotgun to it.
Oh, God. Okay. Roll me an attack roll on Mightyena.
Alright, give me something good. 8.
8. You really had a bead on the... You remembered that you failed on the Mightyena, but then you got a bead on the Mightyena. And shifting your focus like that kind of really narrowed your sights. You hit a tree next to it, and that tree kind of cracks and splinters, and the Mightyena looks up, but then looks at you, snarls, and starts kind of backing away with it slowly in its mouth. It's still 15 feet away from you, but that's going to bring us to Jedediah.
Teddy, see if you can get the last one, too. And I'm going to have him use Covet again, because it's the perfect move here.
Perfect move. All right, give me a roll.
Alright, attack roll. That's a 15.
Oh, that's going to hit, definitely. Sticky Finger Teddy, going to swipe that Marie. Give me a damage roll.
Alright. Big money, big money. That's only a 2.
Okay. The Mightyena it's a little rattled. I mean, it just kind of got something yanked out of its mouth, but it's fine. It's going to start to kind of cut its losses, though, after seeing its brother and start booking in the other direction. So, just to recap before the Mightyena goes. In our half circle, we have Teddy Ursa, who is holding 2 Mareeps in its hands, kind of like by their leg, like up, like it caught a big fish. We have...
I imagine there's one in each hand that is just purely held there by, honey and sticky stuff.
It is holding 2 Mareep like it caught a big fish in each hand, with its sticky fingers kind of just grasping it. It's not even clamping down on them, it's just kind of holding its paws up like this, and they're just still stuck to it. So in this half circle, we have all the Mightyena are kind of leaving. They're kind of bookieing away because they're a little nervous. You have their mother, who is now trained on Cyndaquil, that is kind of alert that they're leaving, but really kind of wants to defend the den. And then you guys are all along the outside, and you are all within, I'm going to say, 10 feet of this Mightyena. That's going to bring it to the Mightyena, who is then going to kind of straight up stare down Frederick, because it's very tired of its loud rock, and it is going to make a attack roll on you. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. You are going to take 2 damage, and you are going to also roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 12.
Okay, you're fine. That brings us back to Frederick. So the Mightyena is now kind of sinking its teeth into your arm after that attack, and your turn.
Can I make an attack with the gun with advantage to
absolutely.
put it right on its head?
Oh, absolutely. It is point blank, baby. You cannot miss.
Okay.
But let's see how it works.
Give me something. That is an 18.
Oh, that's definitely going to hit it.
It's a dirty 20. Sorry, it's a dirty 20 if the gun is a dex weapon.
It's still going to hit. So you are going to put the chrome straight to its noggin. Roll for me what damage that's going to look like.
We said it's a D10.
The shotgun was a D10. I'm going to say the revolver is going to be D6.
Okie. That is a 5.
That's a 5. Okay. You blow straight into it, and it kind of unlatches its jaw and kind of stumbles back. Like, you really put a big chunk in it. It is still gonna kind of shake its head and stare you guys down. Forgot what I was gonna add to this, but Trigo, you're up.
So I have 3 shells left in the shotgun, if I recall?
Oh yeah.
Alright, fucking, I'm gonna use another one.
All right. You train your eyes. Give me a roll.
5.
5.
God damn it.
You really got to learn how to use this, man.
Good
You
lord, Frederick
just kind
just
of-
shouts, "Toss me the gun."
Can I do that as a bonus action? Just throw it to him, but like,
Absolutely, yes. I also just realized a shotgun deals as much damage as Teddy Ursa with sticky fingers. I'm just making an observation.
That sounds about right.
Sounds about right to me. All right, so you send it over, and you have that. Jedi, you're up.
I mean, I feel like there's not a ton that Teddy can do right now, but I'm just gonna sort of shout out to him to help out however you can. And I imagine he runs up to the Mightyena and he uses his lick attack.
All right, give me a melee attack roll.
That is a 15.
That's gonna hit. Okay, so this Mightyena is still kind of is still shaking off the dome shot that Frederick put in it, and it's just gonna kind of feel a really wet, really gross, kind of just rough textured object hit it on the side of the head. It's gonna turn its gaze and see Teddy Ursa straight licking the side of it. Give me give me a damage roll.
Alright. And I don't know offhand if it matters type-wise. This is ghost damage.
It is halved because Ghost is not effective against Dark.
Okay, cool. That is a 3.
3, so you're going to do 2 damage to it. Mightyena still kicking. It's Myena's turn. Now, it knows it probably cannot beat a 3v1, especially with the loud stick that is now being thrown around. And it is going to make a dash towards one Marie. It is going to try to snatch it in its jaws, basically, and stop there. It's not going to dash. I'm going to say its action is it. So it's going to run away from you guys, but it has one Marie in its mouth. I'm going to say it's the one that's stabilized because I feel like since Teddy Ursa kind of left them there and they can't really move, it's going to run and try to snatch one of them.
I thought Teddy still had them in his hand.
It ran. Wait. It ran to lick them with two.
Yeah,
okay.
2 of the Reaps. Good
That's
lord.
That's why he had to use his face. He had 2
Yeah,
hands were used,
that's
so he had
why
to
he
use.
licked.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying. So it's going to try to roll a dexterity check to see if it can pry the Mareep out of the sticky fingies.
Yeah. Should I roll anything to oppose that? Or?
No, it rolled a 3. It tried to bite the Mareep, and it realized that the sticky fingies ain't gonna let it go. Though Teddy just kind of plants his feet and just yanks it out of its mouth, and it just kind of looks there in stunned silence. Like, it's just like, I can't believe this is actually happening.
Can I take my turn simultaneously with it trying to drag the Mareep out and use the shotgun on it because it's kind of stationary at that point?
Yes, absolutely. So it is not moving. It is just trying to growl and pull it, but it can't make the correct check.
I'm going to blast it with a shotgun.
Okay.
Do I get advantage or do I just roll straight?
Let's roll straight.
All right, come on. Oh, a 4.
4. So you're starting to think that Penelope Strong doesn't know how to sight guns properly because this shit just does not hit anything. It's going to blow and just strike the rocks behind it. Trigo, do you have any response to this as someone who...
I turn to Trigo and I go, "What'd you do to it?"
what did you mean? I didn't do anything to it.
I think at that point, Frederick throws it on the ground because it's clearly not working. And I'm going to use my movement to get closer to the Mightyena.
You are right in its face, and it's still kind of trying to snarl at this Teddy Ursa, but you are right next to it. Jedi, you are up.
I feel like at this point everything feels like a foregone conclusion. So I'm just gonna Teddy, try and get away and just come back over here.
So I'm going to claim that
Right.
as a movement, though, so you can still do something. Do you guys have any gear on you, I should have asked? Do you have any other weapons?
Not other than my revolver, no.
I mean, I have my revolver,
I just
but
have a revolver.
Okay, you can shoot the revolver if you want. So you can make an attack roll, because you're just telling Teddy to move. That's just basically movement.
Okay. I don't know if I want to use my revolver.
but I think I have an idea. I grab one of the Pokeballs from my other hip holster, and I try and at one of the Mightyena. How far away are they?
So the only one that's left is the one that you hit for the 2 damage. The other ones, I'm going to say, since it's been a turn, it's been 60 seconds. Once the Mareep kind of left it kind of just booked it into the woods to get as far away and ensure its survival.
So the one I walloped is gone.
The one you walloped has made a break for it. The one that had the Mareep but didn't take as much damage is going to probably be fine.
Okay, I'll still throw it.
All right. I actually haven't done this part before, so now I have to do math. So roll me your throw, basically, and describe it to me after you get the results.
Okay, so what all should I add to this?
According to what I have, in order to catch a Pokemon, you need to beat a 12 in order to catch it.
Okay. Assume it's just a d20 plus my dex because I'm throwing it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Moment of truth, boys.
Oh, first catch.
That is a dirty 20.
Ooh,
Got a catch.
baby.
And I'm looking at now, it's actually animal handling check, but you definitely catch it regardless. So, you throw the Pokeball, and it does the classic and then you hear the dong.
Oh boy, give that to me again. It's like I'm there.
Yeah, can we save that sound and just repeat it every time?
Mark the timestamp.
Already working on it.
Perfect sound.
So you have success. A very thankful Jedi Moonstone has now acquired a Mightyena.
Yeah!
Now, this brings us to the Myena's turn. Now, the Mightyena, in the I think this has been 4 rounds of combat entirely, maybe 3. In the 3 rounds or 4 rounds of combat that have happened, it has been domed to the brain. It has seen all of its food being taken from it, and has seen everything kind of just leave its course. So it is basically going to try to just straight up dip. However, you guys are going to get opportunity attacks on because it is just straight leaving. Because it is going to cut its losses at this point. So, Trigo, you have, or actually, I guess going in the order, it would go Frederick, then Trigo, then Jedediah before it tries to book it.
Now, if I were to catch this bad boy, what I basically need a nat 20 is what we're getting at.
You're making me do math again. So, it has a species ranking of 5. You would need to beat a 10 plus 5 plus how much health is remaining, which is 33. You would need to beat a 13.
That somehow comes out to 13?
Oh, sorry, no. Sorry. You would need to beat an 18.
An 18?
Yes, because it's current HP divided by 10. So 33 is 3 plus 10 plus its level at 5.
These bones got to turn around at some point.
Chuck it.
Yeah, I think I look at Jedediah and I was like, in a fit of jealousy, I throw the ball as hard as I possibly can at this Mightyena.
Okay, give me the roll.
Come on, baby. Come on. I want to
swear to God. I swear to God.
Oh, a 9.
Oh, it is going to stare. It is going to pivot, take the ball in its mouth, and crush it.
I get another one ready.
It's going to spit it out and just start booking it. But Trigo and Jedediah get its move before it gets to move.
Part of me wants to get in on the fun of throwing a Pokeball because I've never really done it before. You know, we always just had Pokemon on the farm, so I'm like, I never had to catch one. I'm like, oh, this looks fun.
A Pokeball virgin.
I pretty much am. So I think definitely roll this with disadvantage.
Give me the rolls, baby.
7 and 16.
Ooh, you're closer than me.
So your Pokeball doesn't even make it to the Mightyena. Your Pokeball like drops 2 feet in front of you.
I was gonna say I feel like I Gronk bike it.
Gronk spike.
I'm trying to throw it.
Canonically, yes. Okay, congratulations. You don't release it at all. You just spike it into the ground, And Teddy Ursa turns around and is like, what did you do? Teddy Ursa looks at you and is like, how did you get this? How did you get Abra? And motions to Abra. Like, how did you get this?
Yeah,
Okay.
For the record, I imagine Teddy still has the Mareep on his paws.
The Mareep is dangling from its palms. It's like, how did you get this? All right. Mightyena is going to sprint away. And you guys are now left in the woods by yourselves.
I think I pick up the shotgun and I try to shoot something that's stationary.
Give me an attack roll.
14.
What did you aim at?
Plus 2 is a 16. I think I just aimed at like a tree branch or something. Like I think, yeah, I just aimed at like a tree branch.
You fire, and all the leaves that were on that tree branch fall in sync with a hole through the center of all of them.
So it works.
Yes, it does.
Can we back it up and say that Frederick adjusted the sights on the gun?
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
Shoots the gun and goes, "You were always shooting 4 feet to the left," and then he shoves the shotgun back in Trigo's arms.
I just look at it in pure amazement.
While they're doing this...
Oh, I think...
wait,
hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Jedediah, but I think with his arm wounded, I think Frederick does the thing where he takes one of the shotgun shells out and he puts the gunpowder on his wound, and then he goes up to Cyndaquil and he just does the little burn on the arm to seal the wound.
Cyndaquil doesn't want any part in your self-harm.
He's running away from me. Come back! I need the fire. And he's just running around in circles, and I'm chasing him with gunpowder all over my arm.
And I'm there that was my last shell. What the fuck? Why'd you give me the gun back?
You couldn't hit with it anyway. Just as he Benny Hills around the circle of the clearing.
Abra just walks off at this point to go sit on a rock.
All right. Well, you've...
I was... Sorry.
No, please. I am just telling you what's happening. Or not what's happening. The lack of what's happening.
As I was starting to say, I feel like while that, Benny Hill theme is playing and all that craziness, I'm trying to also pry off the Mareep from Teddy's paws.
Roll strength check.
What is my mod? It does not work because I rolled a 5.
You try to pick the Mareep up, but you have them all they're like monkeys in barrels where you pick the Mareep up and Teddy Ursa goes along with it and is now being held by... Yeah. It's monkeys in a barrel all the way. Throw back to my childhood.
All right. In that case, I'll try and just return Teddy for a sec.
Oh God!
Who wants to do? Okay, so I did the Pokeball theme. Who wants to do the theme where you return a Pokemon, or the sound where you return a Pokemon?
I think it was something like that.
There we go, baby. That's why I come here every week. All right,
that's the money shot.
The Mareeps fall down. The Teddy Ursa's back. The Mareeps just fall down safely,
and then I'll just pop them back out.
Teddy Ursa's looking at his hands like, what happened? Teddy Ursa's having an existential crisis at this point, actually. He's just staring at his hands.
I just give him a hug and tell him good job.
What now?
I feel like also right now, I would like to release my Mightyena and just sort of see what's up with it. Try and introduce myself.
Okay, so according to the real Pokemon D&D thing, you have loyal. Because of Rule of Cool, I'm going to just say that for the first day, unless you have a bonding experience with it, all rolls on it will have disadvantage. And then after a day, it'll be kind of just neutral to you and just be like, okay, this is my life now.
Okay.
That is grim, my friend, that you pulled that out of its Pokeball in the site where we domed its mother.
Granted, the mom's gone. I mean, it would be a lot worse if there was just a body there. That would be really depressing.
True. I think Frederick points in the direction of the Mightyena said and said we haven't cured the disease. We've stopped the symptoms of this lady's problem, but this is still going to happen.
I don't know if it will. I mean, if you were that Mightyena, if this was just you rustling Tauros, do you think you would come back to the same farm?
I mean,
Animals gotta eat, man.
Yeah,
And it
I don't
seems like
think
a pretty
animals.
easy target.
I mean,
Yeah.
you did just, calling back from 2 episodes ago, you did just unleash a bunch of random bulls in the middle of nowhere with no sense of direction.
Oh yeah, those are all dead, Tauros.
I mean, that's
they're
basically
dead.
free meat.
I'm just saying, thanks to us now doing this, there's probably in the Mightyena's mind an easier place to get food.
All right. Is Cynical standing next to me?
Yeah, he is.
I think if I hadn't caught him already, I think I like try to juke him out and put my arm in the flame.
Roll dexterity.
7.
Oh no. He sees you coming. He's like, no. He kind of like sidesteps and then just kind of like shakes his nub of a finger at you, like, what are you doing?
Damn it, Cyndaquil. I need to seal the wound.
Oh my god. Alright, what are you guys up to now? What do you guys want to do after you have just successfully cleared this den?
I look at Frederick and just see his shithousery, basically. And I just grab him by the shoulder. I'm like, you don't need to fucking do that. Let's just go to the house and we'll treat you there. And I just start walking off, and I put Abra in her Pokeball and just start walking. Because she was off to the side, just, face palming, like, what the fuck is going on?
I think Frederick just shouts after you. Big talk from a guy who doesn't know how to line up iron sights.
I
Oh
just
boy.
keep
I
walking.
imagine that Teddy is like kind of herding the Mareep, pushing them forward to follow Trigo.
Oh,
I just want to
Jedediah, you actually you send out Puchiana, right?
I did actually, yeah.
Roll perception for me.
Okay, perception.
Yes.
Yeah, we never resolved that. That's a 15 plus whatever my mod is.
You turn around and you see the Puchiana nibbling on the Mareep's leg. It's not puncturing it. It's just teething a little bit. It's just kind of like no.
I'm gonna walk up and do like you do with a dog, and just give him a quick little like light bat on the nose. But no, bad Poochie.
Puchiana's tail goes between its legs and just looks down.
I lean over to Jedediah. Would you like to give him a nickname?
Yeah, I think I will, but I might have to sit on it for a while. I don't know his personality yet.
Well, you can't go back into that menu, man.
You have to find a dude to do that, and that's a hassle.
That's a hassle.
Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
Frederick, he slides his arm out of the coat and he puts it in the inner arm of his coat so he can kind of hold it, and he starts walking back to the camp with Cyndaquil in tow.
All right. So all 3 of you go back to the camp, and you see Penelope Strong reading a newspaper. And I think we will go into what she has to say when we get back.
Thank you for listening to Fistful of Pokeballs. JFK played Trigo, Lucas played Jedediah, Jack was our DM, and I, Ryan, played Frederick. Thank you for listening. This means a lot to us if you made it to episode 3. If you've made it to episode 3 and you haven't left a review yet, or you haven't given a follow, please follow, do all the social media things. We have a Twitter now, at A Fistful of Pokeballs. We would love to hear from you guys, especially those of you who aren't friends and family. That would be nice to hear from you. 2 things for you this week. One is a recommendation. If you haven't listened to or heard of Roaring Trainers, I would highly recommend giving it a listen. Similar vibe to A Fistful of Pokeballs, and an all-around great podcast. Secondly, a lot of people have been asking me why we call JFK JFK, and I'll give you a hint this week. He does not look like JFK, and he did not have sex with Marilyn Monroe. So I'll tell you next week. Bye!